Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to episode 13 of the Perspective Matters podcast. This week, I want to talk about simple blessings. Simple blessings surround us, and if we take a moment to pause and to count them, we would be amazed by how many exist. Simple Blessings is also the title of the song I want to share with you this week. Tarrusriley and Konshens, two of my favorite artists, I know I have several, collaborated on this track, and the result is a reggae masterpiece. This reggae masterpiece asks us pointed questions and reminds us that our blessings can be found in the simple things in life, if we only but look. So I'm going to go through the lyrics of the song and then share with you the reminders I got from this beautiful song. So the first verse starts, "You spent all that money on your watch. How much time you spend with your son? So much money in the club. How much you spend with the ones you love?" Chorus, "The simple things are your blessings. Simple things, them are your blessings, your blessings. Simple things are your blessings. Hey, you no notice your blessings? You picky with the shoes pon your feet. Now pick and choose the friends where you keep. You know them? You now watch where you eat. When last you get a good sleep? Simple things are your blessings. Simple things are your blessings, your blessings. Simple things are your blessings. Hey, you no notice your blessings? Singy, simplicity we use for survive. Many find it difficult because them ignorant and hype. One alone you get, you not gonna live another life. Telling them again, but I not in a that their voice. Life no get chance too often. Cut out some of the sadness and invest in a laughing. Time you take a stress, lifetime passing. Tell them say you love them before you see them in a coffin. Let me tell you this, my brother. Good days, bad days, you know see a weather. Me woulda trade house and car and cheddar just to get one more minute with my brother. So you better spend time together. Cherish every second of the day when you're there. Gotta tell you, I had a close one yesterday. Jah put an angel over me. The simple things are your blessings. Simple things them are your blessings, your blessings. Simple things are your blessings. Hey, you no notice your blessings? The simple things are your blessings. Simple things are your blessings, your blessings. Simple things are your blessings. Hey, you no notice your blessings? We got life, so let's live. You make time for chase the paper. When last you say a prayer? We got life, so let's live. And while you're worshipping your treasure, remember nothing lasts forever. The simple things are your blessings. Simple things them are your blessings, your blessings. Simple things them are your blessings. You better notice your blessings. The simple things them are your blessings. Simple things them are your blessings, your blessings. Simple things them are your blessings. You better notice your blessings. Simple things, oh the simple things. Health and strength, oh the simple things. Let me tell you about the simple things. Family and friends, and the simple things. You better notice your blessings. I really encourage you to listen to the song Simple Blessings. I'm going to leave the YouTube link in the show notes for you to go and watch the video. And of course, leave the link for Spotify so you can check out this song and other songs done by Tarrusriley and Konshens. Now, at the heart of this song is the question of value. What do you care about, and is it worth it? The things that you care about, do they fulfill you? Do they matter? And at the end of it all, will the things you value the most really matter? The song wastes no time in going into the heart of the matter. Tarrusriley starts the song by asking, or saying rather, you spent all that money on your watch. How much time you spend with your son? Now there are some of us who really value jewelry. We value material things, clothes, shoes. But the question is being asked, you spent all your money acquiring material things. You spent all that money on your watch. But that timepiece, how much of that time did you spend with your son? Did you spend with your daughter? Did you spend with your children? So you're investing in a timepiece, but are you investing in time? Taurus wastes no time in asking the pointed question and asking us to examine the things that we value most. We value jewelry. We value the watch. But do we value time with the people that we care about the most? The people that are going to look up to us, who see us as an example. So if you're a parent with children, or if you are in a position to influence others around you, what kind of example are you setting based on the things that you value and based on the things that you treat as priority? He goes on to say, so much money in the club, how much you spend with the ones you love. So depending on the lifestyle that you live, for some people spending money in the club is nothing. It's one of their favorite pastimes. If they don't go and drop 15 grand or 20 grand in the club, then they don't feel like they've spent any money, or they don't feel like they've done anything good for that day. And good, I mean something that they can brag about, or just say, yeah, I did that, or I can't do that. And even if spending money in the club is not what you do, but when it comes to money and your family, do you offer a helping hand if you're in a position to do so? Or are you one of those people that say, well, I had to work hard to earn mine, so why should I give it to them even if they are family? And then there's a flip side to that argument, that you're very helpful, but your family takes advantage of you. In any case, the question is being asked, how do you spend your money? And are you spending it on frivolous things? Or are you spending it doing things that really matter, such as creating memories and spending time with the people that matter to you the most? So the chorus reminds us that the simple things are where our blessings can be found. And as we continue to live our lives, do we stop to take notice of our blessings? The second verse continues to really ask us those tough questions. So Taurus asks us, or he says to us, that you're picky with the shoes on your feet, but you're not picky with the friends that you keep. And then in the ad-lib, Konshens asks, you know them? So there are some of us who, if it's not a major label, if it's not a big brand, it can't go on our bodies. And then others take it to the extreme and they don't mix labels. It's unheard of. So you're selective with what you wear, but you're not selective with the people that are around you, the people who can have the most influence on your life. And don't get me wrong, there is absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying the finer things in life and supporting your favorite brands. The question is asking you to consider what you value more. Do you value material things over the influence that people have in your life? So you're selective and you're picky with the brands that you support and the clothing that you wear and the jewelry and all the other material things. But when it comes to your own life and the circle of friends that you keep, do you place the same value on the circle of friends that you have? Do you place the same value on the kinds of influences that you are subjected to and that you expose yourself to? Konshens in the ad-lib asks, you know them? Do you know the people that you are around, the people that you call your friends? Do you know them intimately? Do you know their beliefs, their value systems? Do you know their goals, their dreams, their aspirations? Do you know the good, the bad, and the ugly? And does that matter? So that's the kind of things that you need to think about, and those inherently rest within the question that Konshens and Taurus are asking. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." So who are you, and what is your average looking like? Do you value material things over influence? And if you do, then it's your life at the end of the day, and the choice totally is up to you. But think about what you're placing value on. It can't be that you value material things over the people in a position to influence you, because that impacts every single aspect of your life. The people around you, whether or not you want to admit it, impact the things that you think, the things that you say, the things that you do, and ultimately how you live. So if you're surrounded by negative people who constantly complain and worry and bemoan the circumstances and the reality of their life, if they are careless with their speech, if they are unaware of the thoughts that they're thinking, then what is the quality of life they lead? And is that influence impacting you? Are you careless with your speech? Are you constantly having negative thoughts? What are you actively doing to mold and shape the kind of life you want to lead? So those are the things that you need to think about. And those are the things Konshens and Taurus are asking us to pay attention to. The second verse continues. You now watch where you eat. When last you get a good sleep. And those simple things are so important. If your diet is rubbish, then you are putting your health and your well-being in jeopardy. If you are getting insufficient sleep, then you are robbing yourself of the opportunity to function at your highest level. Your brain cannot function. The rest of your entire being cannot function if you are getting insufficient sleep. Sleep is the time when the body gets to heal and repair itself. That's when your memories and all the synapses in your brain, that's when everything gets a chance to make the link. So everything that happened in the day, your brain uses the opportunity while you rest to make all the links and connections between what happened in the day, what happened the day before, last week. And that's how you learn. That's how the brain learns. That's how your body rests. That's how your body gets to repair itself. That's how you heal. So if you're robbing the body of the opportunity to rest, to heal, to repair itself, then you are not functioning at your optimum level. You're robbing yourself of the opportunity to function at that peak level, and it is going to affect you in the long run. It's going to catch up to you because the body needs to heal and repair itself. So you will find as you age, the body will begin to deteriorate more. And all the time you spend chasing the almighty dollar will have to turn around and go back to paying doctors because you did not take care of yourself. And it is the same sentiment with the foods that you eat. Are you selective with the things that you put into your body? So you have to balance the things that you're selective with. It can't be that you're selective with the clothes that you wear and the brands that you support, but you're not selective when it comes to the food that you put within your bodies. You're careful about what goes on the outside, but not what goes on the inside. So that's what Taurus is asking us to think about. Your diet and your rest contributes to your overall well-being. And if you want to have any kind of impact, if you want to add value to those around you, then those two things need to be taken care of. You need to be paying attention to those two things. As simple as they sound, wrapped up within those two things are some of your biggest blessings, your health and your strength. And if you want to be on this earth for a long time, then you have to take care of those two things. I remember seeing a meme that stuck with me to this day. Pay the farmer or pay big pharma. So pay the farmer so you can get the good produce, or pay big pharma as in the pharmaceutical company, the doctors, the drugs, because you're now in the decline. So as you go through your life, ask yourself the question, what am I placing value on? And is it serving me? Is it helping me to become my best self? Verse 3 sung by Konshens, and he says, simplicity is what we use to survive, but many people find it difficult because they are ignorant and they are hype. And those two lines are so powerful because there's so much truth wrapped up into it that if you lived a simpler life, life would be so much better for you. We complicate it with all these things that at the end of the day are of little value when it comes to what we were meant to be doing. So we have these calendars, we have all these apps on our phones, all these reminders. Some of us live and die by our calendars, by our organizers. We can't function without our phones. Our entire life is on our phone. And if we were to lose this instrument, we would fall apart. And it's interesting that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, the cell phone was not a big deal. How did people meet when there was no cell phone to text? How did people establish times to meet up? How did people go about their lives when it wasn't all wrapped up in a phone or wrapped up in technology? And the second line in the third verse says, many find it difficult because they are ignorant and they are hype. So some of us just don't know that living a simple life is helpful. It's where you'll find great meaning. Not in your calendars, not in your apps, not in your organizers, not in your to-do lists. That's not where you're going to find value. You'll find value when you take the time to appreciate the simple things, like being able to breathe. Have you ever been in a case or in a situation where you're not able to breathe? How terrifying that is? Have you ever woken up and you're unable to open your eyes? How frightening that is? Your leg or your arm falls asleep and it can't move, how panicked you become? And yet we take those things for granted. Our next breath we take for granted. The ability to see when you wake up we take for granted. Being able to move unassisted we take for granted. Speech, hearing, thinking we take for granted. So if we were to stop and to pay attention to all these simple things, all these things that we take for granted, we'd be surprised that they really aren't simple and they impact the kind of life that we live. So there are some of us who are ignorant to knowing that there is value in taking the time to appreciate the simple things in life. And then there are others who are so hype that they can't be bothered to stop and to appreciate the simple things in life. They are so and so, the whole world knows their name. They have X million followers on Instagram. They have X million dollars in the bank. Everywhere they go, paparazzi snapping images. They live in the biggest houses. They drive the nicest of cars and they wear the latest of fashion. And they roll in this group and they know this person and that person. They have access to this, that, and the other. So they are all caught up in themselves and in the image that they have created, that they have forgotten where the real value rests, where the real value is. And their entire identity is built on who they know, what they have, what they can get, and who they think they are because of all those three things. And if you were to strip away the name, the money, the fashion, the group, who would they be? Would they recognize themselves? Would they even know who they are? So the third verse continues. You only get one life. You won't get another. And life doesn't give too many chances. So cut out some of the sadness and invest in laughing. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, laughter is the best medicine. So Konshens reminds us that we only get one life to live. As far as this consciousness is concerned, you only get one life to live. And life doesn't give you many chances. It doesn't give you many chances to appreciate all the good things in life, all the simple blessings that you have. So reduce the things you worry about. Reduce the time you spend being sad, being anxious, being caught up in things that are of little and no value in the grand scheme of things. So you are perturbed because your social media following isn't growing. You're put off by the fact that your business isn't where you want it to be. It's not growing as fast as you want it to be. You're unhappy because your relationship doesn't look like the Instagram goals relationships. You base the success of your own life on the highlight reel of others. You watch the news and all you see is devastation, depression, destruction. And Konshens is reminding us not to pay so much attention to that. And as we all know, energy grows where energy goes. So when you keep paying attention to the things you don't want, that's all that's going to come to you. That's all that's going to expand. That's all you're going to attract to yourself. So don't waste your time worrying. Don't waste your time being sad. Don't waste your time being perturbed by things if they're not going your way and they're not going according to your plan. But invest in laughing. Invest in the things and the experiences that give you joy. Invest in those moments where you can find the real meaning of life, and that will look different for every one of us. And that's the whole point. It's not supposed to look like everyone else's. So the things that give me joy are not supposed to look like the things that give you joy, because we're two different people, and that is okay. So I encourage you to stop basing the success of your life off everybody else's. Spend more time laughing. Spend more time being merry. Spend time with the people that give you joy, who can put a smile on your face, and on whose faces you can also put a smile on, because it is not one-sided. Tell them that you love them before you see them laying in a coffin. Good days and bad days are like the weather. I'm sure you've heard the saying, don't wait until death to give the people you love flowers. And that's what Konshens is reminding us of in this line. Tell them that you love them before you see them lying in a coffin. And for him, those aren't just lines in a song. They are true to him because he lost his brother to suicide. So he's speaking from very, very, very personal experience. So he in this moment knows what he's talking about. So as you go through life, and life will happen, and you'll get caught up. Don't get caught up to the point that you forget to tell the people that you care about that you love them. Don't wait until they are lying in a coffin, unable to hear and respond in the physical, for you to tell them that you love them. And show them also that you love them. Good days and bad days are like the weather. They come and they go. Nothing lasts forever. So if you're going through a situation that has you feeling depressed, has you feeling hurt, sad, angry, has you really questioning life, you're in a dark place, you're worried about rent, you're worried about your job, you're worried about this business, this relationship is making you unhappy, there's something in your life that's causing you great stress and distress. Konshens is reminding you that this time, this experience is temporal. Like the weather, it will change. And it's easier to say than it is to practice and to experience. But I'm sure that the bad time that you're going through right now, it's not the first. So you've come through uncomfortable situations before. It didn't last. And neither will this one. Konshens in the next few lines talks about his personal experience with wishing he had spent more time with the persons he loved. So he says, I would have trade house and car and cheddar. And of course, we all know cheddar is a slang for money. Just to get one more day with my brother. So you better spend time together. Cherish every second of the day when you're there. So we spend all our time acquiring money, acquiring the big house, acquiring the car. And in that moment, that split second moment when life ceases to exist, we wish all the time that we had spent acquiring house, car, and money, we wish we could trade all of that back for time with the ones that we love. And Konshens felt it. He lived it. He lost his brother to suicide, and there was nothing he could do about it. So for all the money he's earned, for all the mansions he's bought, for all the cars he drives, none of them can bring his brother back. He would trade all of those things just to get one more minute with the person he cares about the most. So he's reminding us to value time with the people that we care about the most. And while having goals and dreams are important, while the pursuit of said goals and dreams are important, it should not come at the cost of the sacrifice of time spent with the people that we care about, the people that we love and value and cherish. And that's what Konshens said. Cherish every day, every second of the day that you are here. Because we all know 1 minute you're here and the next you're gone. And I'm sure if each of us took a moment and paused, I'm sure we'd find one person who was here today and gone tomorrow. And the shock and the utter surprise that comes with hearing that that person is no longer on this earth. And you find yourself saying, but I spoke to him yesterday. I spoke to her an hour ago. What do you mean she's gone? I just liked her post on Instagram. What do you mean she's no longer here? And you try to wrap your mind around the fact that that person is no longer here. And while it is totally outside of our control, whether or not someone is here or they've left this experience, what is in our control is the time that we spend with them and the quality of the time that we spend with them. And that is what we should value. And then the last line in that verse says, gotta tell you, I had a close one yesterday. Jah put an angel over me. And as I explained in the last podcast, Jah is a term used by believers of the Rastafarian faith or those who are Rastafarian adjacent to describe their higher power, to describe their God. So Konshens is saying he had a close call yesterday, meaning he had a brush with death. It was so close, it was life and death, but his higher power was protecting him. And in most religions, a form of protection comes in an angel. So an angel was watching over him. And that in of itself is a simple blessing and one that we should give thanks for, regardless of what your faith and your religious belief is. Every moment that you are still on this earth is a moment to give thanks for. For every close call you've had and you've walked away from it, that is a reason to give thanks. There are some of us who have come so close to death and we have not realized it. So close. And we are totally unaware. And ignorance is no excuse to not give thanks. So even if you are aware and you're unaware, as long as you have breath, there is reason to give thanks. Then the fourth verse goes back to Taurus, and he says, we got life, so let's live. You made the time to chase the paper. When was the last time you said a prayer? We've got life, so let's live. And while you're worshipping your treasure, remember nothing lasts forever. And this is such a powerful verse. I mean, the entire song is powerful, poetic and powerful. But Taurus is reminding us that while the pursuit of ambitions is good, still live your life. And by living your life, you do the things that fulfill you. Do the things that give you joy, that bring peace, that make you smile. Live. Don't just exist. Live. Do the things that make you feel alive. And sometimes it won't be chasing paper. it won't be the pursuit of money and financial gain. And there are some of us who are so caught up in money, in the pursuit of money, in making money. We live and breathe the pursuit of money. And while it is okay to want financial wealth and financial gain, is that all you are put on this earth to do? To run down money? Ones and zeros? Because unless you're storing the actual paper under your mattress, it's actually ones and zeros. When you look at the banking system, it is ones and zeros. So are you really trading your time for ones and zeros that can disappear by a couple clicks and a couple keys on a computer? And if you believe in having cold hard cash stored somewhere, the light of a match and all of that is gone. So you are pursuing something that can go up in smoke and something that can disappear at the click of a button. And is it really worth it? And yes, there are some of us that would argue that without money you cannot have freedom. Money is what makes the world go round. And I get it. And I'm not here to argue the merits of money. I'm here to encourage you that the same fervor and passion with which you pursue money, it is with the same passion and fervor that you should pursue the things that keep you alive, the things that keep you fulfilled, the things that give you meaning, and the things that will take you one step closer to your real purpose. And as you pursue your goals and your dreams and the almighty dollar, when was the last time you said a prayer? And prayer here can be substituted with, when was the last time you meditated? When was the last time you took a moment for yourself? When was the last time you walked in nature? When was the last time you went for a jog? When was the last time you did something charitable? When was the last time you picked up the phone and spoke to a family member or a friend? When was the last time you gave back to society? So when was the last time? And even in the meaning of prayer, even in the actual meaning of the choice used here, when was the last time you prayed? When was the last time you connected with a higher power? When was the last time you communed with a higher power? Just checked in. When was the last time you communed with yourself? Just checked in to see how you're doing. Just take that moment to see if you're doing okay. While you're worshiping your treasure, remember nothing lasts forever. So while you are celebrating the fact that you've made the millions and you now own the biggest house, you drive the most expensive car, you can finally afford to buy all the brand clothes, the jewelry, you finally acquired all the financial evidence of success. Remember, nothing lasts forever. So where do you place your value? Because the truth is you can't take it with you. You can't take the big house with you. You can't take the money. You can't take the car. You can't take the connections, the clique, the circle, the Instagram followers, the notoriety, the fame. You can take none of that with you. Naked you came into this world and naked you will leave. And even if you have a mausoleum built, one that can fit your car and all your money and your earthly possessions, you still are not going to take it with you. Wherever we end up in the afterlife, those physical things will remain in the physical experience. So what are you really working for? What have you really spent your time doing and acquiring? Because you can't take it with you. And that's what Taurus is reminding us of. That we spend all our time chasing money. We spend all our time chasing material evidence of success. that we don't spend the time communing with our higher power. We don't spend the time communing with ourselves. We don't spend the time with the people that should matter to us the most. And then at the end of our life, what do we have to show for it? How many people do we know who lay on their deathbed? They have millions. And at the end of their life, they are surrounded by nothing. No one. We've all seen that Christmas movie where the protagonist is a go-getter, focused on achieving goals and dreams, and being completely tough and hard, liking no one, being liked by no one. And then the ghost of Christmas past and present and future take the person on a trip on Christmas Eve to remind them of what is really important. And then it is that last trip that shocks them back into reality and shocks them back into focus. Because at their funeral, nobody is present. Nobody is there to offer a kind word, to put a rose on the coffin, to say I love you. None of that happens because of the life they led. And they wake up Christmas morning feeling completely inspired. They have a new lease on life, a new perspective, and they finally realize what matters most. It is not the job, it is not the money, it is not the fame, it is not all the material things that they use to judge their success. None of that is what matters. It is spending time with the people that matter. And while that might be a Christmas theme, it really should be the theme of life. That's what should be the theme of life. What do you place your value on? Then the outro goes, oh, the simple things, health and strength. Let me tell you about the simple things. Family and friends are not simple things. You better notice your blessings. So as the song comes to a close, Taurus reminds us that our health and our strength, as simple as they are, that's where our blessings lie. And I spoke about this already. What good is your life if you cannot enjoy it? If you do not have the health and the strength to enjoy it? So you spend your entire existence pursuing money, and then all that money that you've earned, you have to then turn around and spend to take care of yourself because you are too sick to even enjoy it. Does that make sense? Really, does that make sense? You spend your entire existence comparing it to somebody else's highlight reel, and you'd almost work yourself into the ground to try and achieve the same things that the other person has. And then when you finally acquire it, you cannot enjoy it because you are so tired and so burnt out. Does that make any sense? Your family and your friends are not simple blessings. They are the biggest blessings that you could have, because your family is your connection to your past, your support system in your present, and your link to your future. And I'm not saying everybody's family is perfect. You might have a rubbish family. You can create your own family. Your family doesn't have to be relation by blood. It can be relation by choice. You can create your own family. And of course, you choose your friends, so you can create your inner circle. The point is, the people that you have within your inner circle should mean the most to you. They should have the greatest value to you. And the things that value the most are the things that we cherish, or we demonstrate our value and our priority based off how we cherish and treat these things. So it is not the pursuit of material evidence of success. It's having these connections with other people, with your family and your friends. It's making memories with them. It's living life. It's being grateful for life. It's being thankful with the things that you say, with the things that you do, with the thoughts that you think. That's where your blessings lie. So I encourage you to take a moment and to evaluate your life and to examine what you place your value on. Is it material things? Is it connections, people? Is it your circle of friends? Is it living the life that you want? Is it living a life on your own terms? So my beautiful souls, as you go throughout the rest of the week, the month, and the year, I encourage you to be very deliberate in your efforts when it comes to taking notice of the simple blessings. Be very deliberate in the things you pay attention to. Simple blessings are all around us if we only but take a moment to look. Don't take these simple blessings for granted. Don't wait until it is too late to say to the people that you care about, I love you. Do not spend your entire time, your entire existence pursuing things that can go up in smoke. We place value on things and on people based on what they can do for us. And that is an unfortunate way to live. Cherish the connections that you have. Cherish your circle, your inner circle. Be deliberate and selective with the people that are close to you, because you are an average of the 5 people you spend your most time with. And for every day that you are still here, take some time to give thanks. Take some time to offer gratitude for the things that on a regular day we would not take notice of. Don't wait until you're unable to do the things that you took for granted for you to then be grateful. Thank you so much for listening. It was my absolute pleasure sharing with you this week, reminding myself and you of what is really important in this life, reminding us that the simple blessings are indeed the most powerful, and that in everything that we go through we should give thanks. So thank you for spending the time with me. I hope you are encouraged, you are inspired, and you are motivated to take a step back and examine your life and to evaluate what you place your value on. Please share this episode with your friends and your family and your loved ones. If you haven't yet done so, leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. In fact, I'm yet to get a review, so who wants to be first? I like stars, especially 5. And share this episode with your friends. And until next time, remember, there are 2 sides to every coin. Just flip it to get the full view. Catch you next week. Bye.